Yo, what's up guys? All of the limited items for the Halloween Spotlight event just got leaked. The event starts on October 23rd and we already know what is going to be coming out. So there's going to be a total of 4 brand new limited items coming out. First of all, we have this giant knife that will sit on your back. This is definitely the one that I'm most excited for. It reminds me very heavily of the Immortal Sword series of limited items. I think it actually looks pretty nice. And I think this one could have a lot of potential as a limited item. Obviously depending on how much it costs, but so far it actually looks pretty nice. We haven't seen a new Immortal Sword literally in years. The most recent one we saw go limited was the Immortal Sword Burning Embrace on July 1st of 2022. I don't know if this item technically is an Immortal Sword, but it looks like it, and I think it actually looks pretty cool. Next we have this bandana with a giant red eye in the middle. I think this one actually also looks pretty cool. Not particularly my style, but it's very reminiscent of the Overseer items on Roblox, and I think this one definitely a lot of people are going to like. Bandanas usually are always pretty popular, and these eye themed items also always do pretty good. I don't think this one will be too expensive, so it'll definitely be a good item to get. And the third item that we have leaked is this weird looking hard hat with an eye in the middle. I don't really know what this is meant to be, and honestly it's not very exciting to me. It does remind me of the Turbo Builder Sculpt hard hat, but it just really does not look that good. And I really don't know what Roblox was thinking when they made this one. Maybe there'll be an audience for it, but I just really don't understand it at all, to be honest. And there is a 4th limited item that it's going to be coming out. Unfortunately, we don't actually know what it looks like just quite yet. But I assume it's going to be some kind of Halloween themed item. Hopefully based on an old Roblox limited item. So are these items actually worth buying? Are they worth your Robux? I'm gonna say 100% yes. Every limited item that comes out, literally ever, is always gonna be worth your Robux. If you sell it quickly, you're always gonna make Robux, especially if you're using that 40% method. So I would personally highly recommend you guys actually go ahead and buy every single one of these items. If you can't afford all of them, then definitely go for the knife first, the bandana second, the hard hat third. And hopefully that 4th item is going to be even better. Even the worst of the worst limited items that have come out from these events have been profitable if you know what you're doing. As far as when these items are coming out, I'm not exactly sure. Obviously the event starts on October 23rd. So I'm going to say anytime between October 23rd and November 1st, these items are going to be coming out. And I assume they're going to be on a 24-hour timer, so you're going to have plenty of time to actually go ahead and pick them up and buy any of these items that you want. That's usually how they do it, and I don't think they're going to switch it up now. A better question is probably how much are these items actually going to cost? To be honest, I don't really see them being super expensive. The only one I could really see being expensive is that knife. In the past, Immortal Swords have always been pretty expensive, usually around the 10,000 Robux range. I do have a strong feeling they're going to make this one a lot cheaper. I see it being around like 2,000 Robux. That's just a prediction though, I'm not 100% sure. The bandana I really don't see being very expensive at all. Maybe like 200 or 300 Robux. So I assume that's probably going to be the cheapest item coming out for this entire event. For the third item, that hard hat, I could see it being like around 500 Robux. I just feel like this item is going to be overpriced for what it is. Personally, 500 Robux for this isn't really that great, but again, I would still recommend buying it. And for the 4th item, obviously I don't have any predictions for the price because we don't even know what it looks like yet. Overall, I'm actually pretty satisfied with these limited items. I think at least 2 out of 3 of them look pretty good. The hard hat, I'm really questioning where Roblox was going with it, but the other 2 items I think actually look pretty decent, and I could see a lot of people actually wearing them. Definitely not as good as the Takeover limited items or the Winter Spotlight limited items, but these things really aren't too bad, and obviously the final one definitely has a lot of potential to be really good. I'm personally hoping for some kind of sinister pumpkin or classic Roblox pumpkin. If they could possibly do something like that, that would be absolutely insane, but I highly doubt it. I'm happy that Roblox is actually going with some pretty decent limited items this time. We've definitely had certain events with horrible limited items, such as the hatch. So honestly, I really just can't complain too much about it. And if you guys are curious about the other items that are coming out from the event that aren't going limited, first of all, here we have the launcher items that are going to be launched by developers, administrators, and star creators. First of all, we have the Elixir of Fevered Creativity, which is literally just a giant bottle that sits on your back. Honestly, I feel like these bottle items are not that cool. As a launcher item, I feel like this is one of the worst ones we've seen so far. I'm not even gonna lie. And then here is the Administrator bottle. Literally the exact same thing, except it's blue instead of black. And finally, you have the Elixir of Pyrithic Glory, which is gonna be the Star Creator launcher item. The one cool thing that I can say about these items is that you can actually wear all of them together. They don't all go on your back. You have one that's a waist accessory, one that's a back accessory, and then you have one that's a front accessory. Unfortunately, they don't all combine to make a cool item like we've seen with some in the past, but at least you can wear all of them together. Next, we have the free track items. First, you have this giant snake that sits on your back called the Slithering Sentinel. Then you have the Crypt Croaker, which just looks like some kind of undead frog. After that, you have the P. Diddy, the Watcher in Silence. After that is the Spiny Marsupi Ghoul. And finally, you have the Phantasmal Fox. I don't know why Roblox is obsessed with animals now, but that's what we have. And for the paid track, honestly, it doesn't get much better. You have the Ominous Amphinibadneba. Then you have the Horror That Hops, the Strix Silverum, the Protective Marsupi Ghoul, and the Vulpes Maledicta. Honestly, all these animal items look super whack. I don't know, I'm not really a big fan of them. I feel like Roblox is just not trying to make anything good anymore. Like, what are these items? Next, we have the base items, which I guess you can get from doing certain challenges or whatnot. First, we have this candle item, which honestly is my favorite item out of this entire event. I feel like it actually looks pretty funny and is a pretty cool looking item. Then you have the Spirited Broom, which is just like a flying broom that you can wear. The Vengeful Visage, which goes on the side of your face. Then you have the Cursebound Candle, which doesn't look as cool as the first one and looks a little bit weird to me, but still a candle item. The Horns of the Mycomancer, not really my favorite looking horns items. Then you have the Thicketed Hair, which I guess is just a hair with spiderwebs in it. After that, you have the Spellbound Scythe, the Wheeled Root Wings, the Unearthly Lanterns, which I actually think looks pretty decent. After that, we have the Revealing Veil, which is one of the ugliest items I've ever seen in my life. The Hex Woven Broom, which is basically a black version of the other item. Then you have the Undying Gaze, which again is actually kind of cool. If you wear these two items together, it makes a pretty cool effect. Then we have the Entrancing Scythe, which is another one of my favorite items from this entire event. Next we have the Horns of the Fungal Fiend, the Bedeviled Hair, the Guise of Nightmare, which might be even uglier than the Reviling Veil, the Infested Cauldron, and the Wraith-Bound Lanterns. So there actually are a ton of items from this event, but the only problem is 99% of them are absolutely hideous. But let me know what you guys think of all of the items in the comment section below. Do you guys like the limited items? Do you like the items that you can earn from the event? Personally, not a huge fan. I just hope that the actual event is going to be better than the prizes that we're earning from it, because as of right now, it's really not looking too good. But thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Peace.